Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Sabythesimmer, aka Sabythesimmer. Happy Thursday. I'm slightly out of breath because I did run up the stairs and then proceed to start doing this voiceover. That was a mess. I don't know why I decided to do that. So the floor plan started off a little bit different this time because I started floor plan, then realized I wasn't recording, and then started recording. So you saw a little bit of the shape already before you could see me kind of like put it all together. But I feel like a bit of a creep because I've mentioned this before, and we was talking about this on Twitch last Friday because I stream on Twitch, if you didn't already know, and on Fridays I do Sims content. So we was building and I was talking about where I get my build inspiration from because someone asked, and I said I feel really creepy like looking at people's photos on Instagram and like piecing together their home based on the photos I see and putting together a floor plan. I feel really creepy doing it, but at the same time they put it on the internet, so I guess it's like free for all. You can do what you want with it basically. I'm not doing anything bad, I'm just obviously just building the Sims. So this home is literally me seeing someone's photo and was like, oh, I like this photo, I wonder if they got any other photos of their home, and then going on to their profile, looking at the rest of the photos, and then piecing together a floor plan based on those photos, because they obviously don't have an official floor plan on their Instagram page. They just have a bunch of photos from different rooms. So I'm like, okay, that's the living room, what's behind this, what's next to it, what's there, and that's how I kind of piece together a floor plan. So this is a bit of an odd one because I just feel like a creep doing this, but at the same time I feel like this is kind of nice. It's not nice, it's a fun way to kind of figure out a floor plan, figure out a home, figure out a build, because you essentially have to piece everything together. If I sound a little bit different today, I'm using different headphones. My brother's using my headphones I normally use because he's playing a game, which is annoying, and I wanted to get this voiceover done because I like to make sure my video is already up and scheduled and ready before the time. I don't want it to be late or anything like that, so I'm getting it done now. But yeah, about me being a creep on Instagram. But that's basically where I got the inspiration for this build, and I don't find a lot of like inspiration in terms of like British homes. I don't find a lot of that on the sites that I look at for floor plans and things like that. So oftentimes if I do a British style home or a home that looks like it can be quite pretty much just like put into London or whatever, I speak about London because I'm from London, so my language is very London centered. But yeah, if I feel like I want a British home, I'm probably gonna look at like people who already live in British homes and what their homes look like and things like photos, and probably look around my neighborhood, that kind of stuff. But most of the time it's very American, or it's either like other places in the world, which is great for when I want builds that are like based around other places in the world. But when I just want a home that feels kind of not even nostalgic, but just like I can recognize it because it's very much like the homes I see around me. This home not so much, but I feel like the floor plan is very much like, yeah, I've seen it around me before. And there's this thing, I don't know if it's really British or American or what, but there's this style recently where you have your lounge, dining and kitchen all in the same area, and I don't know, but I just find it really weird. I like the idea of having all the rooms kind of boxed off in themselves. I do like a little bit of an open plan, so kitchen and dining open. I love that kind of vibe. I don't really mind I kind of like the idea of a separate dining room area just for like the sake of it, but in my mind practically it just works up if you have a kitchen and a dining room area right together. It just makes sense. But in this build you have a main living room, and then in the back you have the kitchen and the dining, and you have a lounge area as well. But for some reason I just felt like I couldn't all fit, well, not even for some reason, I didn't make this build really big, so it's quite a small area. So you can definitely fit a dining room table and some chairs, and I've set up the kitchen already, but you could probably use like the sectional sofas and do like maybe a small L-shaped sofa moment, so there is a small lounge in that area. But I gave you the option so that you could do whatever you want. You could always just knock down the wall between the main living space and then have it open plan that way. You can do whatever you want with this space. It's a shell, if I don't already mention. It's a base game shell, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and 1.5 bath, and there's an office space. So from the photos and they kind of like caption the photos as well, so I got an idea of what each room is being used for, and that kind of helped me figure out how big I want the spaces to be and things like that. So the person who I saw on Instagram post these photos of their house, they had a games room, which I believe was originally like a storage space. I can't even remember what it was originally, but it was clearly renovated and they changed it to a child's like playroom. So I think they have 1 child, because I believe the floor plan could only really fit 2 bedrooms. I don't know, maybe they extended it, I can't remember actually, I could be wrong. This could be the same house I saw, and they have like stairs going up to another floor, but I don't know how to do that in The Sims. I wasn't sure how to do it, and it's terrible. I'm terrible explaining it because it doesn't make any sense what I just said. But like from the second floor, there's like a few steps up, and then there's another like room basically. But how do you do it in The Sims? You could use platforms, I guess, but then the stairs would literally be a tile wide, and so there'd be really chunky stairs leading up to a room that would have to be on a tall wall to fit 3 platform bloody steps up or whatever. It was just a bit complicated, so I didn't know how to do this in The Sims. Like I really wish we had half tiled, like we could use half tiles for walls and things like that, and it could work. But yeah, I struggled. And also when I came back into this build, all the landscaping went, so I had to redo it. The only good thing about that is I did switch up the landscaping. Like I completely changed it from what I was originally going with, because I just felt like a tree in the main living space, or like right in front of the living area, isn't really nice. Like you want all that natural light coming in, especially because you've got the little bay windows. So I decided to like not go with having like full of greenery and some trees in the, well, not some trees, I was only going to do 1 tree in the front, but I decided not to do that. I decided to go with a very minimal but kind of overgrown garden, so like it's not really been looked after that much. Maybe this is an older home and someone's bought it and they're going to renovate it, or they're going to switch things up, I don't know. But yeah, and that was the vibe. I wasn't really thinking too much about who would live here, and I was like thinking maybe it's just a single parent, or maybe it's 2 parents and 1 child, or to be honest, the second room is quite a nice room, so you could definitely think bunk beds or 2 single beds, so you could easily have 2 children in there. You could have twins or a teen and a child. It's really up to you. But I just wanted to do something a little bit British inspired, so yeah, that was the vibe for this video. But yeah, how is your Thursday going? I'm looking at my notes again. I feel so unprofessional like mentioning the fact that I'm looking at my notes, but just to keep it 100 with you guys, I have little notes, and I mentioned it in one of my videos, but Shan, a creator who makes Sims videos as well, she mentioned how she has like notes, and so I've started to do it, and it actually does help. So I did have to like glance over it for a minute and be like, what was I gonna talk about? Because this video is actually shorter than most of my speed builds, so I don't need loads of things to talk about, but just so that there's a bit of a flow, even though I completely like broke the 3rd wall and just is it the 3rd wall, the 4th wall? What is the saying? What are those things where you kind of like look at the camera, and the camera, you're acknowledging the camera, or whatever the case may be, in film? I don't know what it's like in like, anyway. But how is your week going so far? It is Thursday, so nearly end of the week. 1 more day to the end of the week. I think it's because I am kind of self-employed at the moment. I think that means that my weeks are just very different to everyone else's. So like when people ask me like, how's your week been, I'm like, I don't know how to say that. It's just been me building in The Sims all week. Yesterday was the day where I left my house eventually. Actually no, I did leave my house on Tuesday as well. So I was out Tuesday, I was out Wednesday, and just doing like errands and stuff that I needed to do, life stuff. But for the most part, most of the time I'm at home. I'm just playing Sims. I'm just building The Sims and playing sometimes. And I feel like, I think the last week's video where I was talking about like just having fun and just being able to enjoy the moment, there is still a lot of guilt, because I'm just like, I should be doing so many more things, but I'd much rather be here, build videos and share them with you guys, because I just enjoy this way more, and I don't believe life has to be hard, so I just enjoy it. I just enjoy it. But yeah, my week has just been pretty chilled as usual. But we did get the trailer for the wedding pack on Tuesday. I did get quite emotional, and I was like, what? And I have always said to myself I'm not an emotional person, but since the past couple of years, I've noticed myself, kind of noticed how I react to things differently, and I noticed that it's not necessarily that I'm not an emotional person. I've never really given myself the space to be emotional, or to allow my emotions to just be free. So I've always told myself I'm not an emotional person. I'm quite cold, and I'm quite just like blunt. Not even blunt, I'm just a bit cold sometimes, or like unexpressive. And sometimes I just put that down to the fact of like, oh, I'm just like unemotional, but it's not the case. It's just because I've never really felt that space to allow myself to just be like, feel the emotions that I'm feeling. Basically is like a saying that people say nowadays, like, feel your emotions. I've never really given myself time to feel my emotions, so lately things make me cry so much more than I have ever cried. I feel like I've cried so much more over the past couple of years than I have ever cried in my life. But yeah, it did make me emotional. I didn't cry, but I did get like a lump in my throat when I watched the wedding pack, because I just like, it's just so cute, and it was just so like sentimental. It was just adorable, man. And yeah, I'm excited for it. And I don't normally pay for packs full price. I always wait for a sale. But I am very, very tempted to buy this when it gets released. Well, not when it gets released, because I'll have to wait until I can actually buy it. But I'm tempted to get it like the week after it's released, just because I kind of want it. And I have some Sims that are engaged and they're not married yet, so it kind of works. But I am tempted. I'm tempted to get it. I don't know about you guys, if you guys are going to get it or not. I don't know. But yeah, this was the kitchen. I moved everything around because I started to put it in that kind of layout because that's what it was in the photo. But it just didn't make sense because I made the space quite small. It's not as big as probably it is in real life. So I had to like move things around. Originally it was in this position and then I moved it to the other side. And I feel like it probably works out a bit better so that when you walk straight in from the entrance, you walk straight in and then through the double doors, you got the space where you could probably have your lounge chairs. And then on the right, you have the kitchen's kind of like section. And then you can have a dining table in that section just in front of the back door kind of thing. That's how I was seeing it anyway. That's how I planned the floor plan. But because it's a shell, like you can honestly move things around, do it however you want, extend it out. Like, I don't know how you guys play with shells, if you use shells. Let me know if you use shells. Do you use shells more often, or do you prefer like a furnished house, or do you prefer to furnish a home yourself? Do you prefer to build it from the ground up? What do you guys prefer? Because I don't really use a lot of shells. As much as I build shells, I don't actually use a lot of them. I'll either just build my own home myself, or I'll just get one from the gallery. But I most of the time just build homes for myself. Depending on the gameplay that I'm playing or whatever the case may be, I just build for myself. So I'm actually now looking at homes to build because I want to start the family dynamics challenge, and I do want to film it. I just think it might be I don't know, I do want to film it and put it on the channel as well, but the fan on my console is so loud. I'm just gonna have to figure out a way of like properly editing it out. But I do actually want to film the family dynamics challenge, and I am looking for, because I want him to be in Brindleton Bay, so I want him to start a restaurant in Brindleton Bay as well. And I kind of want him to have a craftsman style home and like 3 bedrooms, a basement, because the next generation has to live in a basement. So I kind of already want to have a basement, like a floor plan that already includes a basement, so I don't have to figure out where to put it, because that's so annoying when I have to like have a house and then I kind of want a basement for the gameplay, but it doesn't really work out because trying to figure out where to put it in homes is not easy. So yeah, I just think I'm gonna have to look for them, but I want to show you guys. Hopefully I can, but we'll see. I haven't started yet. I've just made the sim. What was I gonna say? It has 2.5 bathrooms, like I said. So you've got the half bathroom downstairs, and then upstairs you've got 2 main bathrooms. And I haven't actually made it so like the master bathroom is attached to the master bedroom. I didn't make it that way. I just had it right next to it, but you can obviously attach it if you want. But I just feel like it makes it a bit easier than you have the whole bedroom to work with, instead of having it in a position where you're like, okay, but the bathroom door is there, so I don't want the bed head there, or the side of the bed head, like all that kind of thing. Because I think about that when I'm building a home and the bathroom door is attached to the bedroom, because it's like a ensuite. I was like, what do you call them again? But yeah, ensuite. So when I have an ensuite, I always think I don't want the head of the bed, like the back, what do they call it, the headboard of the bed, I don't want that to be on the same side where the door is, because I just think about it. I always think if someone takes a dump and you're like chilling in bed and they open that door, you're just gonna get the whiff of it coming into your bedroom. So I just feel like that isn't pleasant. So I always just think I want the bed to be facing the bathroom door. Like if the bathroom door opens, you want to be able to look the person dead in the eye and be like, what did you just do in there? That kind of thing, as opposed to like being shocked and surprised by the smell because it's coming from behind you. That's just what I think about anyway. I don't know if that's realism. It probably is a thing when it comes to like, I don't know if it's architecture, interior design, probably the combination of both, but where you position certain things. I think I was speaking about it before, but that is, I just find it interesting. I find it interesting that happens. But yes, I am live on Twitch tonight. So I go live every Thursday and Friday at 10 p.m. GMT time. So if you want to join me on Twitch, please do. We're continuing with Lost in Random on Thursdays, and then on Fridays I do Sims building. We have to finish off some landscaping for the loft build that I did in the Sims, so we're gonna finish that off, and then I really want to build like a family home, so I think that's what I'm gonna start next. I'm gonna build like a family home, so come and join us on Friday, because the Sims stream is always so much fun, because I just get to like geek out and talk about the Sims and stuff like that. And we just have a laugh talking about random stuff in the Sims and the problems and the things we want to change, all that kind of stuff in the Sims. So yeah, please join me. Or if you want to watch me play games that aren't related to The Sims, you can come and join me on Thursdays, on today, because on Thursdays, because on Thursday streams I play a different game. I don't play The Sims, so maybe it will change. Maybe I'll only do Sims streams. I don't know. But because I focus my content here on Sims content, I thought it would be fun to like play other games on stream and it's a bit more interactive. I'm not like a variety gamer that much, but I'm trying to play other games. So if you're interested to know what other games I'm playing and what I play and when I play them and all that kind of stuff, then do join me on Twitch. I can't speak today, clearly. But just in case you can hear any background noise, I do have my window open again. I just love having the window open. I can't sit in my room without the window open. I don't know what it is, but it is quite cold as well. It's quite chilly today, so I probably shouldn't have my window open, but I do. I do. So I did try to like put some like weed looking flowers. Like I wanted it to kind of look like weeds, and like they were just growing out of the ground, but it was just so close to the garage, it didn't make much sense. And I always do a garage in my builds. I don't know why I do that. I mean, I have a build coming and there's not a garage. I have like a narrow Victorian home that I fully furnished. I really love that build. I think it's one of my favorite builds that I've done because it's like cluttered up. It feels very lived in. I know the story because I made The Sims, but like I just loved it. But I can't wait to show it to you. I think it will be up next week. I definitely think it will be up next week because I finished building it. I've taken some shots and stuff like that. I just had to edit it, so it should be up next week. And I like to be a video ahead, so I want to be able to edit videos and like have them ready for the day that they're going up, as opposed to like doing final edits the day before. So I'm gonna get better at that. So I've been doing like bulk building, like just builds and filming them, and then I'm gonna get around to editing them all, and then I can do the voiceovers on the day, just in case things happen. I can talk about them in real time, things like that. But yeah. I don't know what to talk about because the landscaping is pretty much done. Have I done the garden yet? I don't think I have. The garden, I've just done like a garden area so that you can grow your own veg, flowers, fruits, whatever you want to grow that you can grow. And then I've done the monkey bar thingies, I think that's what they called. And I've done like the dining set outside as well, so you can sit outside if you want. Oh, okay, I haven't done the garden yet. I'm looking at it now. So I was watching Mahogany Sims on Twitch, I think it was last week, and she did this thing with the garden patch where she like used the fence to make it look like the gate door was just open, and I loved the concept of that, and I was like, I like that, so I've done it. So I've stolen the idea from her. It's definitely not my idea, but I don't know if she's seen it from someone else either. I don't know, but I just thought it was such a cool concept that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I did it, and then I put the little garden clutter in there as well. I'm obsessed with using that gardening clutter. I don't know what it is, but every build I do, especially if it's base game, I always do a gardening patch or some kind of like gardening pots or something. Like, I don't know what it is, but I just always do it. I feel like I like the concept of my Sims growing the fruit and veg that they use, and it's obviously not that realistic because not everyone grows the stuff that they actually use, but I just love the idea of it. I love that in my fridge I have like apples and carrots and stuff, so like if I make a dish I want to use all the ingredients in it. I don't ever put the simple living lot challenge, I think it is. I don't ever put that on my lots, but I just like the idea of having the ingredients and cooking with them. But it's totally up to you what you use this place for. You can absolutely get rid of the garden and area if the garden is not for you. It could be a complete entertainment space. Totally up to you what you do. And I was gonna like put some like dragonflies over the area, but I just didn't in the end. I just left it. And I always use these daisies, and I never find them in debug. I don't know if they actually are the oopsie daisies, but I always use them. I don't actually know if they are in debug or not, but I always just go into the build and buy catalog and just use them there because I never know where to find them in the debug menu. And I've slightly moved the shelves around. I liked the idea of having like the shelves in the corner and then having the cabinets there. I just thought it looked cute, so I did that there. And I really like that shade, that new swatch of like the blue and the dark wood. I love that swatch. There's like, those are two, that's one of my favorite swatches. Obviously the white swatch. Actually, I have loads of swatches that I like from that base game update. Like, I really want more like updated things. I can't remember if I mentioned that I want more doors and windows, like base game doors or windows. I know I tweeted about it. I don't know if I mentioned it in my video. But yeah, I would love some more base game doors and windows and things like that, just because I'm like, I wish things just like all fit in properly. It's very American in the sense of like the windows with the shutters. I don't see windows with shutters here in London. Like, you don't see that. I mean, to be granted, it's a lot of like old homes, and then it's a lot of new build, so everything is quite mixed up in a sense, like in terms of styles. But yeah, I just want a mixture of different styles in the base game so that you could create a bit more, because sometimes I feel like it's either a suburban or some kind of American home. I think this being a British home kind of works, but I feel like there's so many things that I would probably tweak if I could, but I just don't know what they would be. I'm not a huge person, like, I don't know a lot about architecture and design styles and things like that. I don't know about that. I feel like I've learned about it as I've been building in The Sims. But I'm kind of obsessed with using the debug stones and then putting the little gravel terrain paint underneath them. I did that in another build as well, so you're gonna see it a few times because I do actually enjoy doing that. I just think it looks like it makes it look a bit more like it's actually used as opposed to just being stuck there on the ground. So I just like it there. And then just going with some finishing touches, make sure the bathrooms and everything's got the walls, things are positioned right, windows are positioned okay, because I did change from my medium wall to a short wall. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we're coming to the end because I don't think I do anything else after this. So I'm going to wrap up here. Thanks for watching this video. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a like. And also, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I'd really appreciate that. That would be really nice if you could talk in the comments. And I also want to say that, again, I am live on Twitch tonight, so if you want to join me, please do. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do, because we are growing over here and I love to see it. So please do join if you want to join us over here. We're having fun talking about The Sims, building The Sims. So if you want to enjoy more of that, please do subscribe so you can see more of that every Thursday and Tuesday. I said that backwards. I should have said Tuesday and Thursday, but you get my drift. Anyway, let me stop talking and you can enjoy the rest of this build and the shots to come. And I will see you on Tuesday. Bye.